You guys haven't even noticed something very different about today's recording.
What?
Man's drinking.
Drink.
Oh, yeah. Is that in that kind of week, yeah?
It's been that kind of month, rude boy.
Oh, I swear.
Feels good though.
What, to drink?
Yeah, I kind of forgot what I'm like when I record drunk. We know what happens to you. You just talk over everyone.
Well, that's not true.
You don't shut the fuck up.
That's not
To be
true.
honest, that's you sober too.
Well, this is the Good Mood podcast this week.
I like the way she look in the Prada.
There you go.
Come at the Yama. Something marijuana. I'm trying to see what's under your Prada. What's the occasion?
something
Every day's
marijuana.
a celebration. When they come from the Gaza. Don't worry about who's gonna pay the bills, baby, de nada. Song is fire, you know. It's in my head a lot.
Are we recording?
We are.
Oh, shit.
We are.
Are we going to do the thing? We're not going to do the thing this week.
What?
The intro thing.
Yeah. I just like to hit you with it like by surprise.
Oh, out of the blue.
You know, you just got to
Should
be
we
ready
just
for
pretend?
this.
Good.
And
Terribly. Episode 27.
Don't lie. My favourite number.
27. Is it? Mm-hmm. Why?
27th of January, baby.
you're
Is that
a
when you were born?
one-dimensional guy,
That's
bro.
my birthday. That's my birthday.
The reason, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a really shit
That's the
reason
best
to have
number.
a favourite number.
That's the best
That's a
number.
really shit reason. Mine is number 11.
Why?
Oh, that's common,
Rivaldo, Mark Overmars,
Okay.
and them, man.
Very good.
Yeah. Just
7
a,
and
just
11 you hear regularly.
just
as
a good
people's favourite
footballing
numbers.
number. Yeah.
7.
You hear 7 and 11 regularly from people say, yeah, that's my favourite. And
Which
4, strangely.
I like the number 3, to be fair. Please play left back.
Menage.
Yeah, it's magic as well, isn't it?
How are you, man?
Surviving. I'm not going to lie. I almost didn't turn up
What?
this evening. Almost didn't turn up this evening. The beta to Football
What?
Manager 2022 came out last night.
At your big age, you're still playing.
Grow up. And I almost spent all night playing it. I decided I wouldn't download it. I'm going to get home tonight. And if I have any plans with anyone over the next 6 to 9 months, I'm very sorry.
What's the difference between the full release and the beta? What's
Yeah, playing the beta is sick.
Yeah.
You're a sicko.
What?
Just
I
wait
think
for the
meant sick
full
like
release,
sick.
mate.
No, bro.
What's
no.
the time differential on that?
Probably about 3 weeks to a month off the full one coming out. But
But
you get
you-
to like play the new database, get to see the
No,
new
but that's
stats.
bullshit because it's going to come out, you're going to buy that, and then you're just going to start again.
Yeah.
So why don't you just wait?
No, you have like a burn save so you can figure out how the new game works, how the mechanics work, how your tactics and your systems work, which players are good signings, which are duds.
So do you know what I'd do if I was you, yeah?
What?
Get a life.
That's just rude.
I was going to say I'd get into play-to-earn gaming.
Oh.
That's the future, my
Are you
friend.
trying to market your digital chickens?
Not only digital
What?
chickens, but generally speaking...
What's a digital chicken?
This is the
Have you not heard
future.
about digital chickens?
Oh,
No.
Charlie.
Tom
We'll
was-
fill you in offline.
Okay.
You can't be inviting everyone to the back.
Okay. Well, this is really going to get the people going, this intro.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
It's a high energy one.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
This is...
We can
How are-
stop. We
how
can
are you,
stop.
Rich?
Get into play-to-earn gaming, though.
this is going to be distracting.
What you
Yeah,
saying?
we're gonna have to turn
stop,
this game
stop.
off.
What you said?
I'm alright, yeah. I'm fucking knackered. I'm not gonna lie. I am tired. I am so tired. We are a couple of days away from the end of Black History Month, and it's been a resounding success.
Nice.
Internally,
Congratulations on that,
it's
bro.
been great. But boy, oh boy, it's tiring being a revolutionary. It's tiring being a change maker.
I can imagine.
It's tiring opening these fucking corporate minds up to the perils of my people.
How have they been receiving it?
Be
No,
the
it's been good.
change you want to see.
Yeah,
my
it's been
friend.
good. It's been
that,
good.
That wasn't a black guy who said
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But I'm mad tired. But otherwise,
Good, Kenny.
I'm good. I'm better than Octavian is this week, that's for sure.
Oh, snap.
We'll get onto that later.
Revisiting
Later.
an
It's a little
episode,
stray there,
episode
but-
12.
How are you,
Icon.
Thomas?
I'm good. I had a day filled with Ball Lake admin. So I was just, you know, little things.
Like
you know,
most.
like MOTing the car and like little things like this, basically. So like,
so
it's
pleased
good.
I
It was
don't have
good. Lots of pieces of admin got dealt with, and now I'm sat here with you two.
Yeah.
Got a couple of drinks in front of us.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let's go again.
Yes.
And we may be seeing a lot more of each other indoors if the news that's circulating around Europe is to be believed regarding future lockdowns as we surge and surge even more into COVID cases.
52,000.
52,000, I think it was
Light
yesterday.
work. Light work.
Cases in the UK. I think the number is something stupid like 90% of those are unvaccinated people.
90% of what? Of that 50,000?
It's almost
I don't know why I'm doing
Darwinism
that.
at this point, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, basically, yes.
Wait, wait,
90% of the people who are in who are hospitalized at the moment
Okay.
have are unvaccinated, and I think they're in the age group of 10 to 19.
Really?
10 to 19.
For the most part.
Holy shit.
And this is where the conspiracy theories start whirling around.
The pandemic
Quite
and
curious that's the age group. Yeah, quite curious that's the age group that is. Anyway.
No. Fill us in. I like a good one.
No.
Give us a Spark Notes version.
No,
Come
I'm not. I just feel like every single time there is a vaccination push for a particular group of people, whether that be boosters or young people, it coincides with a spike in cases. I just think that's curious. I just think that's fucking curious. No one wants to say it. I'm gonna say it. I just said it.
It is curious.
Fuck's sake. Every single time.
You're the third guy off Mythbusters.
But sorry, so the kids, the people who are in the hospital now, the hospitalization, you're saying are predominantly like younger people.
I might have got that stat wrong, but basically
Kinda don't
it's
believe
younger people and unvaccinated people.
Yeah, the unvaccinated.
Unvaccinated makes sense.
I think it's 10 to 19 though. A lot of people.
There's one guy at work who came back to the office this week for the first time in about a year and a half. I said, why are you back here? And he said, well, they've finally decided to stop doing PCR tests. I won't do PCR tests. I'll only do lateral flow.
Joe.
Why?
I actually didn't ask him
Civil rights.
He looked so serious about it. He was like
Why don't you probe when people say this wild shit?
Nah,
Because
I'm with Johnny.
When someone who's like 6'3" and visibly rattled about the concept of a PCR test is giving it to you face to face, there's just no upside in engaging. So he was like, well, they said that they was only going to do a PCR test, so I wasn't going to come back. And now they say do lateral flow. I'm happy to do it.
Wow.
Nah, that's not.
You said that's one of your colleagues?
Yeah.
You got some wild colleagues, mate.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be a bit tapped to be a trader. We're all at different stages of the spectrum, and
Yeah.
he's at the PCR tests are toxic.
Yeah.
The reason I
Stage
said
of
I'm
the
with you though
Oh.
is because you can tell that these kind of brothers sometimes are the ones who are waiting for you to ask why.
Yes,
And you don't want to get sucked into that because
100%.
they're baiting you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't come in because they do PCR tests, so I only do lateral flow.
Oh, why wouldn't you do a PCR
exactly.
test?
Then there's a pause,
Yes.
and where they wait for you to be like, oh yeah,
Go
or
on, ask
show
them.
some level of interest.
Ask pussy.
and then you're getting sucked into a 10-minute conversation. I thought that's where you were going.
No, I have heard this one. That they cover it in some kind of hydroxy bullshit, and that's bad for llamas. So
Yeah.
fuck it, don't do
I hear
that.
that. So do you reckon that we are going to go into lockdown? What do you think lockdown's going to look like? We've had Latvia, Russia, and I think there are a couple of others who have already implemented a circuit breaker type lockdown, which is going to be short term. I think it's going to be a week in both cases. What do you think's going to happen with us? Boris is like, we don't need the plan B yet, baby.
So, as someone with a proven track record of predicting government policy with regards to COVID passports, which I'm still right about,
They're rolled out in Scotland,
which
right?
are gonna,
yeah,
they're gonna
I
come.
don't give a shit about
Literally
Scotland.
live. They're live
They're
in
not
Scotland.
mandatory in England. That was the
they're live in
topic of the
Scotland.
debate. Anyway, you're
Can't
both,
believe you'd point out something that you were wrong on.
well, I don't give a shit about Scotland. Shout out to the Scots. I don't think that they'll do another lockdown. I think it'll be politically too
Nothing
taxing.
at all.
No.
Not even the low-hanging fruit like work from home and a potential
Yeah,
travel
that's not a
ban.
lockdown. They might ask people to work from home. I think they might reintroduce mask mandates in particular places, but I don't think we're going to go back to a stay-at-home order like we
Why?
had. Because they've promised. Well, obviously, what the Tory promises worth fuck all, but it would be politically extremely damaging. Bear in mind that we've now had a cabinet reshuffle with a view to a general election in the next year to 18 months. If we, in 6 months' time, i.e. 12 to 6 months from an election, are in another lockdown, voters and the marginal far-right voters will see that as a massive failure of Conservative policy. And
Does
it's not
anybody
sure
have
that's something they'll get over?
Friends working in the NHS and spoken or able to speak on the hospitalisation situation there?
We could probably get in touch with some people.
Yeah, no, because I'm just trying to understand.
Are you
'cause-
talking about the crisis actors?
No, I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand, like, because obviously it's the hospitalizations that's the biggest issue. I don't think we are going into lockdown purely because we've got 50,000 cases on Wednesday or whatever it was. It's purely about NHS's ability to handle it. So I'm just trying to get a feel for whether or not there is a problem there. I can't hear anything that sort of signals that they are under it yet.
I think that
But obviously there's a relationship and a lag between cases and that happening,
as
right?
a taxpayer, I would be happy to put all of the unvaccinated people left in the country on the Isle of Wight. Just do like a festival for people who don't want the vaccine. Let them give it to each other and basically turn it into like Battle Royale. You could stream it on Sky Sports. And whoever doesn't die of COVID and manages to swim back to Southampton, like Mazel Tov, you can reintegrate to society with antibodies. But if you don't want to take the jab, then boy, don't infect the rest of us.
Right. So before we segue onto a very, very important topic along those lines, let me just say hello to everybody who is listening. This could end terribly. You are probably listening to us on one of a few streaming platforms. One might be Amazon. One might be Spotify. One might be YouTube. Is that,
If you're nasty.
Is that technically a streaming platform?
Kind of.
Maybe SoundCloud for the retro people. And I'm missing one, but you get the point. We are here. We love you. Thank you for the comments, the love, the spreading, the sharing.
Amen.
We are back. Now back to the segue. Kyrie Irving.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel about him, given your view that everybody who's unvaccinated should fuck off and die, Johnny V?
So firstly, he's the basketball player I think you most look like. But secondly...
That's just racist. I look nothing like him in complexion, facial structure.
He is quite
He is a good-looking lad, but he wishes he looks like me. No, come on.
Like Chris Paul.
Come on, don't fuck with me.
So I'm not really across this story. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to hand over to Tommy on this one. But as I understand, basically, he's not allowed to play because of the New York governor's mandate or something?
Yeah, ultimately.
So there are two mandates in place across the states, basically. Currently, California and New York, basically, where they don't unless you're double vaccinated, but I think there may be like some loopholes for single vax. Okay. You can't attend these kind of mass gatherings, basically. Okay. So his situation, effectively, with him not taking the jab yet, means that he can't practice with his teammates and can't play home games, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So arguably, he could have played away games, but in the end, the team canned that as well. They were like, we're not going to relocate our practice facility to accommodate him, nor are we going to let him play in the away games because it just doesn't make sense from a chemistry perspective. He can't train with us, So he's getting paid for the away games.
Happy days.
Because they're sitting him out, even though he can play, but they're not paying him the home games.
Which essentially total
380 a home game, $380,000 dollars.
Which in total, I think, over the course of the rest of the season is 13 mil or something along those lines.
So he's still making 13 mil.
So he says he understands.
Something like that.
What a touch.
Well,
it's not like the Ben Simmons situation, which is also interesting. Maya Jama's girlfriend.
Her new man.
But before that, he understands. He has said that he understands the career and financial implications of his decision
I'm only going to make 13
not to be
million
vaccinated against COVID-19, and that he's willing to stand up for what he believes in now. For our listeners, people who aren't necessarily in tune with basketball or who Kyrie Irving is, he is one of the top talents in the NBA. So think of the more recent NBA players that you know. Kyrie Irving is probably up there in terms of his eliteness in the NBA league. So for a player like him to come out and say that he is not going to get vaccinated after New York, as you're probably aware, has huge mandates in place across the place from their mayor, Bill de Blasio, which are pretty strict. I think he said this week that healthcare workers essentially going to go on unpaid sick leave if they do not want to get vaccinated now. So the measures that are taking place in New York are getting stricter and stricter and stricter. So this lad who plays for the Brooklyn Nets has made a name for himself. And I think he already had a bit of a reputation for being very outspoken and a bit of a rebel, a bit anti-establishment.
He's a flat earther. He believes the
earth is
flat. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, wallah. That's fact. He made the news. He made the news 4 years ago, or whatever. From that.
Has he never been on a plane?
Do you guys have proof to the contrary?
Have you been on a plane? Yeah.
Yes, Johnny.
Do you not see how like the contour of the Earth becomes spherical at 40,000 feet?
Can't say I noticed, mate.
Let's put it this way. Yeah.
Didn't look out
I back conspiracy theories. I back them.
Yeah.
Oh, you do, yeah?
This one I can't back. Like, there's a few that I like. Like, there's a few that I'm like willing to listen to.
We're still waiting to do the conspiracy episode.
Yeah.
We could.
We need to do
but
that.
we need to bring in a guest for that. We need to bring in like a conspiracy OG.
Yeah, we can organize that.
In part, and we need to like ultimately end up with like, yeah, we buy it or don't.
Yeah. My whole stance on this has always been, in order for governments to make this a proper rollout, they've got to put some law behind this vaccine program, right? You have to make it a legal requirement. New York, California essentially have. So that puts Kyrie Irving in a very precarious situation. But I don't really want to talk about the legalese around this.
But they haven't.
I want to.
They haven't mandated. The thing is, they can't do that. So what they're doing is mandate by like indirectly. So they're like, if you want to leave your house, you need double jab, but we can't make you take a jab. It's like that's the scenario. So it's effectively what we were talking about a few podcasts ago about what we were going to do in the UK. probably 10 episodes ago now or whatever, about student halls requiring you to be vaccinated and et cetera, where, or getting to clubs and passports, et cetera, where you can't mandate that people have to have the jab because of whatever social, political pressures or whatever. But you can nudge them in that direction, which is that great behavioral economics book that became like the it thing during the Obama's first term, basically.
Is he wrong?
I mean, if he doesn't want to... If there was a way that I could not get the vaccine, not get COVID and still earn $30 million a year,
Johnny,
I would do it.
The short answer is no. He's not wrong.
Okay, tell me more.
Because no one can force him to do it, right? So if he's willing to give up X dollars and this and that, then fair enough. Like, he's fully understood the consequences of his action, and he hasn't said I won't get jabbed. He's just said right now I'm looking into it.
I'm sure he'll enjoy the Isle of Wight. It's a very nice place.
Any other takes on this?
Do you think he's right? Do you support him? Like,
he was on the stance that I was on, to be honest. Which was, I want to take as much of my time as possible. I'm not in the public eye, so to speak. So clearly that take alienated me from a couple of very strongly worded pro-vax people. But I was never anti-vax. And whenever I brought up the topic of waiting, I was made to feel like I was anti-vax. So if you magnify that in his situation, you've got a whole country, as it were. You've got everybody from Stephen A. Smith to previous basketball players, Magic Johnson and so on and so forth, commenting on these sports players who, again, have to be even more prescriptive and selective on what they put in their bodies. It's a bit crazy. The manager of the team I support, Jurgen Klopp, I think he described the footballers who haven't had the vax as like similar to drink drivers.
He says it's irresponsible.
Yeah. I mean, at what point are we going to say that this conversation about people's personal choice medically isn't something for a public forum, like, for real?
That's what they say. There's nothing liberal about being a liberal, and these loony lefties all want to control your life. So that's...
what do you mean, these?
This is basically socialism, right? Get the vaccine or go to a Labour camp.
Differentiate yourself from them.
My people.
Yes.
Get the jab or fuck off to the Isle of Wight. That's what's up.
Yeah, the fuckery about this all is that in the NBA, teams aren't actually allowed to reveal private details of players' health. But I think Irving's coach was like, if he was vaccinated, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I think it's probably pretty clear whether or not he's had it or not. I mean, like, it's just a bit silly.
You remember that guy who went viral when he saved those girls, and he was like, dead giveaway. Remember that guy? This is it, right? So this was a dead giveaway. When everyone except Kyrie turns up for training, for pre-season, and then the journalists don't even have to be that smart to be like, hold on, the second star is missing. Like, what's going on, guys? Like, where's Kyrie? So then that's how he got rumbled. It's not like they outed him.
How do you think this is gonna, like, in terms of time, as this develops? Do you think that his reputation will improve as a result of this? This is kind of similar to, like, when Dave Chappelle walked away from all that money because he believed in something.
I wouldn't go that far.
Why not?
I was with you earlier because I said I'm like backing Kyrie's right to boy it all off, even though I'm double vax and stuff.
Right.
But
how is it different if he's walking away from X amount of money that he is he's earned?
$13 million a year,
it's not about what he's still
not
getting.
walking away from the league. So
it's not about what he's still getting. It's about what he's owed. Right? He deserves the contract that he's been given. Which, when he signed, there was no such term in the contract that said if a pandemic comes along, you have to get vaxxed. Now all of a sudden he's being told he can't earn money because of it.
He's elected.
But the Dave Chappelle analogy would be fitting if he then left the NBA. Right?
Yeah.
Which is what Chappelle did. Like he said in the most recent stand-up, I got off the bus, right? I'm the one that got off the bus, left 50 mil on the bus and walked, right? This guy's not walking. This guy's like, I'll play away games.
He doesn't have to walk. But he doesn't have to walk.
I'll train. Like, so I'm just saying it's not a great analogy, but
I think it's fairly linked. I think it's fairly close. Like, because at the end of the day, this isn't somebody who has to walk away from the NBA. He's still employed, and he's still happily employed.
But then it's nothing like Chappelle. Chappelle had a point of like morality or whatever, where he was like, "This is fucked up."
But this is morality. This is as moral base as it gets.
But he hasn't stepped away, bro. That's where Chappelle. That's what differentiates That's what his 15-minute thing on the stand-up was about. It's about don't like the chicks who are like Me Tooing, but still turning up to the Oscars and still doing all that stuff. He's like, look, if you're fighting against the system, then you have to take a more radical step if you're fighting. Where we're getting this wrong is Kyrie's not fighting. He's taking a similar view to you, where he's like, I'm just sitting this out, waiting for more information. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm sitting back, and just as a result of being a public figure, I'm getting heat for that, but I'm sitting back. Whereas Chappelle's thing was, fuck this, I don't want to do this, you man are fucked, I'm gone. So it's that's why I was just pushing back on the analogy, basically. It's a slightly different kind of scenario.
Okay, I mean, I think time will be kind to Kyrie when we look back at this. Whether or not he is proven right or proven wrong, whatever the underlying motivations are for delaying his vaccination process right now, I think the fact that he is taking a stand, despite all of the criticism, despite essentially having his wage slashed, and therefore, and look, it seems crass to say this, but his family's livelihood potentially put under threat because of this is a bit shit, and I think time will be kind to him as a result of this.
I think it's unfair that he's being persecuted for being an Apple guy, because I also don't want to be microchipped by Bill Gates, but sometimes you just got to wear it.
Where I disagree with you, Rich, on this, is I don't think time will be that favourable to him.
Why?
Firstly, this feeds into a larger narrative of this guy being a bit of a contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian, right?
I know a couple of those.
Thinking that he's kind of smarter than he is.
At me, bruv.
Yeah. So, but on a more macro level, this jab thing is basically going to be dictated by the next election. The next American election, presidential election, will be based on this. It's going to carry on being a vaccination.
Do you think we're that far away?
Standing for something is a lonely fucking place, man.
It's a 2-year run rate.
It really is. Standing for something is a lonely fucking place,
He's not
man.
standing for anything, bro.
He is standing for
He's
something.
not. He's standing for a delay. That's like the man who said, let's do the Brexit
But
vote for a second time.
but that's standing for something.
Nah.
I don't want to take this thing, which I'm not
That's not what he's
legally
saying.
obliged.
He's saying, I don't want to take it right now.
It's the same shit.
It's
It's semantics. I don't want to take this thing right now is essentially the same thing as I don't want to take this thing.
It's not.
Because the pressure is on him to take it now.
Regardless. I don't want to take it is chest. I don't want to take it is this for X, Y, Z reasons, whatever his own rationality is, I don't want to take this. But he doesn't have chest. What he's saying is, oh, I'm waiting. Which is also a fair position, but his position is, I'm waiting. I just want more information. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. Good luck to him. Good luck to that man. Where are we going to next? You might want to talk about fucking, what's his name? Who passed away.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of famous black people who earn a lot of money, not doing very much, and then dying of COVID-related shit. The world's most famous mispronounced name died this week.
Oh, yeah?
Man,
It's Colin, mate.
it's fucking Colin, bro.
It's Colin Powell.
Oh, fuck off.
It's Colin.
It's Colin Powell.
It's Colin.
No, everyone needs to grow up. We've pretended for 40 years.
Colin from Yard.
His name's Colin.
Colin from Yard.
Fuck off. It's Colin Powell, the bloke.
Aaron.
He's part of, innit? Part of the My Lai massacre, who's basically famous for organising, destroying the Iraqi army in the war against Kuwait in the first Gulf War, and then was probably the only guy on earth who could have stopped the invasion of Iraq in 2003, decided not to, bottled it and lied to the UN, has died of COVID at age 84. So...
Well, it's not quite COVID.
Yeah, let's not do that.
He had
Let's not do that.
It was like a blood cancer.
Yeah, he was a very healthy 84-year-old with a double jab, and then died anyway. So maybe Kyrie is right. Maybe
Don't like that.
Maybe you shouldn't get the double jab because you die of COVID anyway.
I don't like that.
Maybe we shouldn't get any vaccine because everyone dies anyway.
I mean, as you were saying, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, what is there to add? The guy is probably like the centerpiece of George Bush's foreign policy apparatus, and then somehow has managed to evade history by voting for Obama. And everyone was like, actually, no, he wasn't a Republican. He was black. So, he's blessed. So
Is that the spectrum?
the Republican or black?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If you're both, it's
Haram.
ding, 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 ding. Winner, chicken dinner.
That's a bunch of black people
The
when they get
reason I
money.
thought this thing was interesting, the reason I thought this topic of his death was interesting is because his legacy, it will be remembered largely as Johnny just put it, right? He was the one man or one of very few men who could have stopped the war, didn't. He presided over probably the worst foreign policy disaster that the US has ever had, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and all the shit that Johnny said, 100% right. But what's interesting is prior to that, speech to the UN that basically convinced the whole world to go to war. Mm-hmm. This guy was quite an inspirational story, right? The children of immigrants, wasn't particularly smart, didn't go Harvard or anything, went to like a college, a city college or whatever.
Children of immigrants is a very loaded statement, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's apt because it paints a
always
story.
indicates something, but doesn't always tell the full story. Like, you could be a child of immigrant and be...
We're all children of immigrants.
Yeah, but not for money, but that's what it means, right?
Okay, but that's what I mean. When people say children of immigrants...
They mean low socio-economic.
Yeah, like, and that's not always the case, but anyway.
Yeah, but his case was that. They were like Jamaican migrants or something. He went to City University, which is like not very good, whatever, and then worked his way up with like some unbelievably pristine reputation that basically got mortgaged for the war, basically, right? So Condoleezza Rice, Bush, and all the rest of them, Cheney, Rumsfeld, scumbags. They knew that they couldn't sell this, right? But this guy was believed and trusted by everyone, like universally.
He almost ran for president. Was it in 1992? He almost ran for president. He was that squeaky clean a figure. So he got tricked or whatever. He fell into it. He fell into line. Whatever you want to put it. But what's interesting to me is upon someone's death now, how should someone be remembered, right? And I say that because obviously we saw how ham Trump went. Trump. Can we get the statement up?
Yeah, it's on our WhatsApp group. I think. Oh, in our chat in the Instagram. I sent it to you.
Can we pull it out because it's actually one of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best statements. Like, it's up there because you remember when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died and he was like, "This is the first time I'm hearing this. What a life. What a woman." And he was basically like, "This Jewish bitch tried to stop me doing shit."
Because
that's what
Trump,
he wanted to say.
I've got it.
Don't say that.
Wanted to say.
Because Olga Trump is all chest all the time, right? That's not because if that's what he wanted to say, he would have said it. Ask a la John McCain.
Donald Trump said.
John McCain, his own party leader, died, and he was pissing on his grave.
Shame.
He was like, I like my military men uncaptured,
not to be captured.
Yeah. So come.
Trump said, "Wonderful to see Colin Powell, who made big mistakes on Iraq and famously so-called weapons of mass destruction, be treated in death so beautifully by the fake news media. Hope that happens to me someday. He was a classic rhino.
That stands for Republican in name only.
Mm-hmm.
If even that. Always being the first to attack other Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
He made plenty mistakes. But anyway, may he rest in peace."
So the whole point is, what's interesting is we're going to see now many, many, many people in the next few years who pass, whose legacy is going to be very mixed, right? Especially because the shit that they used to do once upon a time can't be accepted today, right? And upon death, typically you see a whitewashing of someone's history, right? So if you turned on CNN at any point in time covering Colin Powell's death, there's no critical review on his life, right? It's all very glowing, la 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 la. So are we obligated to whitewash someone's past?
No, fuck that.
Up on death, or can we go Trump? Basically?
No, because if you've lived your life in the public eye, and your means of existence or your way that you've earned money and created an image for yourself is through actions that affect the public, it's fair for the public to critique those actions whether or not you're alive. Right? So this guy was basically part of the unit that turned up after the My Lai massacre in Vietnam, then was part of the investigation that said actually nothing happened, it was totally blessed. Then he, like I said, was the architect of the operation of the first Gulf War, in which he said that they were going to like take apart and kill the Iraqi army. And then when they went for the second Gulf War, left Iraq in a state that it had no army to defend itself after they lied about WMDs to invade it in the first place. Like this guy Tommy, you made the point that they mortgaged his image to invade. He wasn't an idiot, yeah? Like, he let them do that, and he was very much part of the apparatus that fucked multiple countries from Vietnam to Iraq to Panama, and was part of all types of awful foreign policy decisions for the best part of 30 years in the US.
No,
it's
that's
fair
not true.
It's fair that people judge him on that record.
Man, so you take orders when he transitioned into essentially being a diplomat or whatever, is when you're responsible. Otherwise, you just take orders. Go do this. You're a platoon commander or some shit like that. You just go.
I'm not sure.
You don't have input on policy. But either way, I just think it's interesting because we'll see like, whatever. Obviously, Bill Cosby's not a good example because he's obviously done like madness.
He rapes, but he saves.
He saves more than he rapes.
He saves more than he rapes.
But he does rape.
But he does.
But if we're talking about all of the things, if we just do this in a very, very simple layman's terms analysis, what is it about Colin's life indicates that we should remember his legacy as positive? The fact that he was child of an immigrant, came to another country and made it? Yeah. I think that's largely outweighed.
That's the American dream.
I think that's largely outweighed by the other fuckery, right? So I think if we're talking about someone's legacy, we have to weigh up their worst moment versus the great story before their worst moment.
So what's the story? Like, children of Jamaican immigrants, you too can bomb other countries.
But that's what I'm saying.
Let's forget that.
That's literally what I'm saying, right?
I think that was a really interesting point, right? So let's not make this Colin Powell specific, but what Rich just said is very interesting, right? So your worst decisions being weighed up against. So we basically tot up like a P&L almost.
Yeah, I guess.
Of your life. R.I.P. Adolf Hitler, a great builder of motorways.
Exactly. It could get, it gets deep like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I think it's bullshit. We had another example of David Amess tragically killed.
Yeah, we'll get onto him in a sec.
Segue.
Right. Well, I was going to segue. Are we not going to segue?
No, I mean, unless you're done on this one.
I mean, I could be here talking about Colin Powell for shit.
Because it's a good question. Like, how do we look at people's legacies?
I think if you live in the public eye, then your public record is open for scrutiny. You can't, like when Thatcher died, people were popping bottles of champagne because the bitch fucked the council houses and fucked the miners and fucked the printing presses.
But not in public,
she's
though,
ruined
right?
a lot of people.
So like people
I don't give a shit what the BBC say, but people are entitled to celebrate that the bitch is dead.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like coverage, like the coverage that tries to influence.
Sure, state media is rarely going to shit on a former prime minister, right? Or CNN, like the fucking bastion of liberalism, is unlikely to shit on a neo-lib in chief. Fine, whatever, you can understand that in context. But
Can you though?
You can understand why mass media wouldn't do it, but people should be allowed to comment and judge and. Yeah, all right, fine. Maybe you can limit some of the personal shit directly to the family's face for a bit, but it's entirely fair to discuss people's public record. They acted in the public sphere. Why should the public not be able to comment on it?
So what you're saying is that all of those PGA tours that Tiger Woods won will not outweigh all of them bitches he took down in his marriage.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, what's his legacy? Positive, negative?
Hey,
if he dies tomorrow.
Tiger Woods was chopping bitches.
You could also argue that chopping is aspirational.
It is.
Tiger Woods was chopping bitches down in private. Yeah, he wasn't the fucking Secretary of
But
State.
then it came out.
False equivalence.
No, but then it came out.
Came out what?
And by the way, I'm not comparing Tiger.
All right, fine. If you don't like Tiger Woods, how about Ryan Giggs?
I mean, let's stay on Tiger Woods though. Like,
yeah, I mean,
we're not comparing.
Having an affair and
John,
smashing your brother's missus,
John,
and battering women in hotels. Again, false equivalence.
We're not. It's only a false equivalent if you're comparing it to other people. Okay, we're not comparing him to anyone. We're talking solely about a person's legacy. I gave you Tiger Woods. If Tiger Woods dies tomorrow, how do we look at him? Positively or negatively? Based on his life, which has had drug addiction, infidelities, but all of that success and an amazing story that led up to it. Yeah. How do we look at Tiger Woods? I think that's the crux of what Tommy's saying.
Okay, so I think people are entitled to make private fuck ups that don't get judged, and people should be judged on their public actions publicly.
Yeah, but the cheating in Tiger Woods' case was very public.
Privately.
No, but
the inspirational golf shit is public.
Let me put it this way: if Tiger Woods, for example, got caught with that cheating thing today, in today's climate, the chat wouldn't just be about infidelity, right? Because there'll be a kind of a Me Too component to it in just being too much of a gallus. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't be smashing 150 chicks in a year and it be public today. Like, and your Tiger Woods. That can't go down. Sure that is legacy destroying today. Today, if it broke on some star, whatever, LeBron, we just found out LeBron this month has done some Ryan Giggsy related things, non-violent, or whatever, or a Tiger Woods piece where you're like, oh, it just turns out that, you know, he's been, whatever, using women institutionally. We
had one at the start of lockdown last year, right? When Kobe Bryant died. Kobe Bryant's life is still, even in his death, after his death, it was all about that case where he allegedly raped that woman. And again, I really don't know the ins and outs of that case. I know it was a bit booky, but I know that there was a strong chance that he may have done something a little bit untoward. I just don't know the finer detail. But given that was very, very early on in his career, given he wasn't, I don't think, convicted to be guilty, to Tommy's point, even in his death, even after everything he's done success-wise, family man, charity work, etc., people were still writing all of these little fucking op-eds about Why are we celebrating this man
Exactly.
who sexually abused a woman?
So look, what I'll say is actually hadn't heard that Kobe Bryant story at all. So basically what it comes down to is if you've done some sus shit in your life, leave money for a PR firm in your will.
Fucking hell.
Yes.
To be fair.
Perception is reality.
And that is how people will remember you.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Wow.
Well, actually, to be honest, that's the best piece of advice that we'll probably give in today's pod.
Yeah, or maybe that I've ever given.
Arguably.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about, we're blasting through the topics today, man. I like it.
Cutting through it.
But now we're talking about the sad news that we had coming out of the UK this week. Sir David Amess, am I saying his name right? Amess.
Fuck knows.
Tory MP for Southend-on-Sea, or Leon. He was from Southend, but I think he was MP for Leon-Sea.
Campaign for the city of Southend.
Correct. Was murdered last week. Tragically. At I think he was doing like
his surgery, doing an MP surgery.
Yeah. An MP surgery. Mm-hmm. And a 25-year-old man has been since charged with his murder. Ali Harbi Ali, who was local, was arrested following the attack at the constituency surgery in Leigh-on-Sea 2 Fridays ago.
Is it sexist to say that it was a man that killed him?
Is it sexist?
Because people said it was racist that they said it was a black man that killed him. So is it sexist to say...
Was it a black man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's Somali.
I thought it was a terrorist. Oh, it was a Somali guy. Okay. I thought it was a terrorist incident. It was interesting because they named it a terrorist incident pretty quickly. So I was like, yeah, it's got to be an Ali who's done this, right?
He is a British man whose father is a former advisor to Somalia's Prime Minister.
And why do we... I may not be across the story as too tough, perhaps, but like, what's the terrorist angle to it? Is it just that he was Ali and the guy was an MP? Or?
I think this guy had already been on, the same old story, right? He was on a watch list and he slipped through the net, and we should have known better type narrative, as it always is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're on a watch list, like Johnny was saying, for watching 2 videos, right? You could get swept up on some kind of GCHQ master list.
By the time you're watching those, because it's not like those videos are on fucking YouTube, right? I think by the time that you've accessed that stuff...
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube.
I don't think there's like, I'm going to go stab my MP 8 times videos on YouTube.
Yeah, and there was all this furore after, and this isn't the main topic of discussion. There was all this furore, and I guess a re-examination or re-evaluation as to how MPs are going to go about their business when engaging with the public on these MP surgeries, on these campaign walks, etc. Priti Patel was on Andrew Marr talking about all the security that MPs typically have. But one of the things that people kept on saying was that, even the fact that MPs get onto Twitter, for example, and say, I'm going to be here, is something that they're going to have to revisit and potentially knock on the head altogether. What also sort of emerged, however crass or however irrelevant you consider it to be, is this conversation around politics of division and how there is blood on the hands of many a politician because of how toxic the rhetoric has been between groups and how groups are being played off against each other in metropolises like the UK or London. And then we get tragic occurrences like that of Sir David Amess and, of course, the one that we had a few years ago in Joe Cox. What's your view on the part that this divisive, populist-driven world that we're living in is having?
I think it is important to state that there's 2 different material motivations behind Joe Cox and David Amess's murder. Joe Cox was explicitly murdered by a bloke who did it in the name of right-wing nationalism because she was anti-Brexit, and Ali Harbi Ali did David Amess allegedly because of offences related to terrorism. I think what's interesting is that they're more likely to report the terrorism angle going forward of Ali Harbi Ali's crime than they were of the far-right nationalist nature
is it interesting?
Of the bloke who did Joe Cox's, who no one remembers the fucking name
Is it
of.
Interesting? I mean, right? I feel you for commenting on it, but is it interesting now? We know what it is, but yeah.
It's not like we'll remember Ali's name.
Yeah, we know what it
I think
is.
you might do. People remember Salman Abedi from the Manchester bombing, right?
Yeah.
That's the name that sticks.
But again, we know why.
Yeah, okay, fine. But I think it's a point that's always worth reiterating until it sticks, right? Does the divisive politics make this more likely? I think it makes attacks like the one on Joe Cox more likely. I don't think that it makes terrorism offences more likely. This guy didn't murder David Amess because he was a Labour supporter. He murdered him because he was a nutter, and he was a nutter who happened to be susceptible to Islamist terrorist propaganda. I don't think that the divisive rhetoric in politics these days helps anything. I think it drives people towards extremism, and as we've captured on our many comments on incels, drives people.
Wow.
Ding.
did
Drives
it.
people towards extremes.
You did it. Well done.
Where they
Well,
feel.
I've never seen Rich look so proud.
Yes.
when you
I
drop
just
that.
didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Carry on.
But it drives people from extremes towards groups of familiarity, right? And so when you marginalize people and then they find people who are like them on the margin, that's a very powerful emotional sell. And so this divisive rhetoric that energizes people and captures vulnerable people is more likely to create attacks of a political nature. I don't think it's more likely to invoke terrorism. What's more likely to invoke terrorism is shit foreign policy of people like Colin Powell.
But didn't you say during that, what you just said, didn't you just say that the rise of fanatics like him is linked to politics? Did you say that?
No, the rise of fanatics like the one who killed Joe Cox is more likely.
How do you explain this?
And why
This one
can, and
is
also
enough
how
to
can
his
you
terrorist.
differentiate him from Ali? Basically, it's
Because
the same.
the-
They're
so-
both.
because
they're
our-
So
both
you don't
madmen,
think
basically.
divisive politics rather is correlated to the rise in fanatics,
It's not.
especially when
so
particular
our internal
religious groups, for example, are used as pawns.
So I hear that, yeah.
in that
And
conversation
that's fair,
altogether.
but I don't think that I don't think that the more divisive nature of our internal political discourse lends itself to the rise of Islamic extremism. I think that's more related to foreign policy. What is more likely to manifest as a result of divisive internal policy is people doing shit like murdering MPs of parties they don't support because they don't support particular domestic policy agendas. I think there's a distinction to be drawn between I'm killing you because you're a lefty loony versus I'm someone who's been sucked in by Abu Hamza's videos and I'm going to go join a terrorist training group in Syria or some shit. I think they're two different problems.
Before I guess give my opinion, just to give a counterbalance to what you said, I'd imagine that those two men are the same, right? I get the distinction you're trying to draw, but like they're both nutters, basically.
They're both vulnerable, yeah.
The same way we described the Ali guy as a deranged beore or as a nutter, there's no difference to the Joe Cox killer, basically, right? So whether they both done the murder in different names, one's in the name of whatever Islam, apparently, allegedly, and the other one's in the name of right wing ideology. But regardless, they're both two tap beores, basically, right?
Sure.
But I'd actually challenge the premise of what Abiadi asked, basically, about I don't know what we mean by divisive politics, basically, because by its nature, politics has always been divisive, right? And like people talk about, oh yeah, we don't like this kind of Punch and Judy. That was the phrase you'd hear a lot back in the day. Punch and Judy style politics, rah, rah, rah. But that's not true either. That's like basically the most entertaining part of the whole thing, right? And that's evident in like just viewing figures and shit like that. People watch PMQs. You won't watch anything else, right? So
We need to.
I don't think it's
we need to leave the EU. The EU are about to let Turkey and all their Muslims in.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
That's not divisive politics, though,
That's
right?
I mean, if
So-
that's not divisive politics, then
That's a viewpoint. So that's my point, right? Is
I mean, it was
this has
completely
been-
unfounded as well,
Sure,
wasn't
but
it? It
this
was
has
used
been-
as a pawn. So that when I say
Sure,
divisive
but that's
politics, I
not
mean
new, right? So this
NHS 350 million a week or whatever it was.
Cool,
Like,
but like you can keep pointing. We can go back 10 years before then, and 10 years before then, and Enoch Powell's River of Blood speech, and Beck before then. Politics has always been divisive, right? What's changed, like with the advent of basically technology and the ability to micro-target, is that you can speak to smaller groups, right? So what back in the day when you were like basically just watching 5 channels on TV, it was two things. Politics wasn't less divisive back then. It was just as divisive as it is now. The only difference was, A, there was no feedback loop, right? So you wouldn't be able to hear back what people are hearing from their politicians, i.e. Twitter and Facebook and rah, rah, rah. So you can see how this apparent divisiveness is manifesting. So that didn't really exist. And the second thing is this idea of micro-targeting. Before, you used to have a fairly broad message, so you can target as many people as you can via TV and newspapers. But now I can micro-target 1,000 people. I can, so I don't necessarily need to talk about these kind of more broad brush kind of policies that kind of has to appeal to everyone. No, not really. If I've done my research and I've identified that I need these 40,000 people to win this seat, then I just need to say whatever it is that will get these 40,000 on my side. And that's what makes politics appear more divisive today, is that ability to micro-target and then have that feedback loop of hearing what people are saying to this.
But when the stakes are higher because of this advent of technology, which I completely agree with, when the stakes are higher, does that not mean the responsibility of the politicians is even stronger?
Why are the stakes higher? Why is the stake higher today?
Because of the reasons that you've just said. The reasons you just said. Typically, back in the day, you wouldn't have Sir David Amess saying, I'm going to be here at this time in this place, right? The advent of technology means that we have to be
I'm talking about from a policy perspective. Yeah, from a safety perspective, sure, there's stuff that they can do.
But also from a policy perspective as well.
Perspective, the stakes aren't higher. The government's like, whether it's 20 years ago, 40 years ago, they're still chatting whatever they're chatting and making policies, debating policies and making policies, and then that shit will roll downhill. It's no different today. The stakes aren't any higher today politically than they were back then.
I think it's pretty clear in the last 5 or 10 years that we've moved from as our politics has become Americanized and become more theatrical, we've moved from attacking ideologies, parties, practices to attacking particular MPs, and as the showbiz nature of politics has created more importance around particular people as political entities, it makes attacks on them personally more likely. And so we saw that kind of like some of the first steps towards that was Michael Gove's people in this country are tired of experts, and then we started attacking academic institutions and those kind of people. And then we moved from identifying people like Jeremy Corbyn, who I'm no supporter of, but you support
him.
Well, no, but people like Dan Hodges would write shit in a daily fucking whatever, Mail or Express, I don't know, he's a prick, about it's time to kill off Jeremy Corbyn, and then you can say, oh, it's a phrase. But once you start using these psychosemantic phrases, you've opened the floodgates to targeting politicians
100%.
In violent and aggressive terms. You start seeing MPs speaking in misogynistic terms about people like Jess Phillips, for example, that makes them targets of people who are susceptible to this kind of stuff. You ginger queen.
Oh.
But as politics has become more showbiz and the cult of personality has become a more prevalent part of our political discourse, it makes attack on people more likely, and that is what drives violence. Jo Cox was a notable singular campaigner against Brexit.
Yeah,
that's why she was attacked.
Yeah, it's all of those things. It's misleading journalism, it's lack of accountability, it's abuse of power. To be absolutely clear, what is your view? Do you think that divisive politics has a part to play, and do you think that there is more of a responsibility?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Holistically, maybe not just on MPs, right? To your point, so maybe not just on politicians. Maybe it's journalism as well. Like, they need to sell newspapers, so their conversation is slightly different.
Don't get me wrong, the distinction I was trying to draw earlier...
But everyone has to have responsibility, right?
So the distinction I was trying to draw earlier was the difference between political motivated in the domestic sense and Islamist terrorism, right? One's a new problem, one's an old one. But the new problem is very much a problem. And as our politics becomes more aggressive and violent and about the cult of personality and about political stardom, and as people are attacked personally, it makes attacks on people more likely. And so it is incumbent on the media and journalists and politicians to tone down the rhetoric that makes these types of attacks more likely. Like you said, the campaign on the Turks joining the EU, which Cummings came out and said was bullshit the entire time. Attacking Jeremy Corbyn for trying to kill off the vampire that is him, etc., etc. These types of headlines are what drive people to normalise violence and aggression towards politicians, and in that kind of super dominant political narrative, it makes people more likely to normalise that kind of activity.
To answer your question, it's about fiduciary responsibilities to shareholders, basically, is what it always comes back down to, realistically. So,
all right, hit me with more.
So you were talking about the journalism, and does journalism have a responsibility to be less divisive? They have a responsibility to sell papers, basically.
I hear that.
And what sells papers is divisiveness, right?
Yes.
Similarly, like I said before, politics by its nature is divisive. There are two sets of parties, two sets of groups, three sets of groups who are arguing against each other to convince you that a topic they're right, basically. People have always been pawns, whether it's poor people, whether it's migrants, immigrants, black, women, gays, whatever. Everyone is going to be a pawn from a political perspective, like like it's not a new
I
phenomenon.
mean, the Thatcher era and stuff, and obviously the attack on particular social economic groups. I understand
And
it,
even
but
before then?
I guess it is. I think that's a bit.
So I think there's a new phenomena that is unique that this era has seen that no other has, and that's the kind of like the concept of micro stardom in the political sphere. So when politicians before would have to go up and say with their chest that they don't want any blacks, dogs, or Irish living in their neighborhood, they knew that was semi-politically risky. But you wouldn't have people going viral on YouTube in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Whereas now politicians can get these people to do the dirty work for them. Newspapers don't need to publish shit like the stuff Tommy Robinson comes out with. They can just fund his campaigns on the sly. And it's because you have these kind of clandestine pro-ideology actors, from the anti-vax to the nationalist to the anti-immigration to whatever type of campaign. These people incite the type of hatred that is required to create a more violent society. It's that micro stardom and that cult of personality and the access that people have to non-political figures that makes the violence more likely.
I'd just like to add that the microstardom is actually a good point. Like that will tempt people into saying outrageous things to get their 15 seconds.
100%.
Thanks, Tommy.
Now, well,
You're welcome.
That's a good acknowledgement.
Thank you, Tommy.
You two agreeing. So as a result of the death, I think Boris Johnson made a point of saying that, I think it was Boris Johnson, maybe it was something in social media which just grew legs. But apparently, his beloved, so David Amess's beloved South End is going to officially become a city.
Yes, the Queen koshered it. She said it's blessed.
Let me remind you, 2 weeks ago, the Windrush generation got a custard apple, breadfruit, and soursop on Mare Street in Hackney.
Great street, by the way. Yeah. What do you want, a black city?
I need a black man going to comment on this?
Well,
I mean,
would you want me to comment?
just say something.
What, I don't know. Move all the black people to Southend? I don't know. Like,
No.
Southend being a city is exactly the kind of policy making that we see from a man like Bojo, basically. That's how it works, right?
Fucking
that's another 4 constituencies locked up
exactly.
for the next
it's
election.
Quite,
it's ridiculous.
It's quite opportunistic. It's quite reactionary, but at the same time, it endears him to.
And I can't say shit. And I can't say shit because the man died.
You can.
I can't say shit.
Of course you can.
Yes, I can actually.
You can judge David Amess. He voted on a whole bunch of anti-LGBT and trans rights
This is our
issues.
fucking forum. I can say what I
You can
want.
say what the fuck
I can say what the fuck I want.
Ultimately, the guy's voting record.
Can't say that.
Yeah, true.
The guy's voting record was fucking awful. Okay, he did some good campaigning for poor
Awful for
kids
you, bro.
and
Awful
whatever.
for you.
But he voted on a lot
He
of such
spent 30
shit.
years in Parliament or whatever, so it can't have been that bad. It's because his constituents are clearly happy with the job he's doing.
Very sus constituency.
Yeah, but they're happy.
Leoncy's
Anyway.
a sus happy constituency.
Leoncy's very nice, to be fair. Yeah.
Anyway, R.I.P. Sir David Amess, R.I.P. Joe Cox, man. Killing needs to
100%.
start, man. These MPs are ultimately here to serve the people of their constituencies.
It's kind of mad they don't have any security, though. I'm not going to lie.
They do have security.
But they don't have, like, coppers sit next to them. There's no separation. Like,
I
you
think-
can just sit this far from your MP. And
Old wide hips, she went on and explained that,
No, we didn't.
am I not allowed to say that? Am I not allowed to say that? If
You
they
can.
are, but if they are,
Buck it up.
That's a sus fetish.
it's not a fetish. Jess Phillips is,
It's the
anyway.
fetish.
Anyway.
But real talk, pretty's your thing.
What do you mean my team?
Yeah, I've seen.
I hate this. No, I honestly hate that pretty is pretty. I hate it. It's really annoying. It's really fucking annoying. Because that's what sucks about being a
Is
man.
she pretty or
She
is-
is fucking deplorable. But I just look at her, I was just like, man, you're kind of
Have you
Yo.
seen that?
You saying hips don't lie?
skin regime is nice. What is that? The Ordinary Company? What is that? You got all the fucking face peels on.
She's E45 in all.
Holy shit, dog. But I hate her. And her little fucking gnashes on her bottom row of teeth. Like, she's such a bitch.
I haven't heard that word being used in a long time.
What's
But
that?
Deplorable is strong.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
is
she's a
deplorable.
dickhead, man.
That's the best way to describe her.
She's
Deplorable
just-
is the word.
But yeah, she's not my fetish.
Jess
Jess,
is, yeah, we know that.
Ginger
We've been
Jess.
knowing that.
Ginger Jess.
I mean, like, Ginger Jess, not for me in that, but I'd rather your fetish than Johnny's Chris Whitty thing.
Yeah, for real. You like,
Not my
no, but
Chris
he
Whitty
likes
thing.
he likes Lisa Nandy.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
I don't think I said that.
You did.
We'll check the record. I mean,
She's Jewish,
very
right?
nice.
It's a Jewish thing, isn't it?
She's not Jewish.
Oh.
That's why he doesn't like her.
Yeah, that's
Egyptian
probably
or some shit.
Egyptian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She's got a future, I think.
Yeah, so she'd be a very good next leader of the Labour Party. This
All right,
is
calm
what
down,
this is what
DJ
Dominic.
Khaled.
This is what this is what Dominic Cummings was talking about this week, saying they need to get rid of the dud Starmer and replace with a woman from the Midlands. And then they were like, who? And he said Lisa Nandy, which is jokes because she's obviously not from the Midlands. She's from like Wigan or some shit.
Yeah, I think she's from Manchester.
Yeah, she's from
Yeah,
Manchester.
whatever, bro.
Anyway,
Outside
she'd be- I think-
M25, innit?
Yeah, I think she'd be a good next one up. Although it could be Jess Phillips next. You could have your ginger queen running the country.
I'd love that.
She'd tear Boris apart.
I'd love that. Even if they're not hot, if they're ginger, I like you. I do. Yeah, quick RIP. So I don't know if you man heard, but one of the Cray twins died this week.
What?
One of the Cray twins died this week.
But they died like 40 years ago.
What?
The Cray twins, like Tom Hardy.
Brother, not Ronnie and Reggie, okay? I'm talking about Cray twins, the two man with the turbans, the twins who producers, and they had that song with Twister and Lethal B.
What? Who the fuck are they?
The Cray twins. They spelt it with a K and with a Z. Cray twins.
The Cray twins are spelled with a Cray.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they had twins Z with Z on it. The producers, they were fucking producers, and they had that song with Twist.
Is
Look,
Tom Hardy dead or not?
No, he's not.
Okay.
R.I.P. Jazz Beer Hayer. He was one half of the Cray twins. He had that song, and they flipped that friggin' old school.
Which song?
Oh
yeah,
and it had
banger.
Twister and Lethal B in it. And
Yeah,
it
I didn't
blew
know the
up.
Cray
It
twins had
blew
range
up.
like that
Yeah, he
still.
died of COVID. Very young.
Oh, sorry, bro.
I don't know him.
There's a lot of
Say
dead
sorry to
people in
me.
this episode.
Yeah,
Like the
actually.
obituary episode.
Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, we're not calling it that though.
No, we're not calling it that.
No one will click play.
But we might do.
But yeah, R.I.P. to him. R.I.P. to Octavian's music career as well.
Again?
He decided this week that he was officially leaving the music scene.
But I'm pretty sure music left him last year.
Yeah, he's not been able to release
It's like
music
breaking up
since.
your ex who's already got a new man.
Yeah. So he left. He was forced to leave the music scene as a result of what happened with his ex-girlfriend, who basically outed his physical, sexual, verbal abuse at the height of lockdown. I think it was last year. He maintained that he was innocent, and you guys have heard us cover this. He maintained that he was innocent. He said that God will take care of it all, and the courts will do the rest.
Boy, God did not back, man.
Turns out, yeah, God was like, you on your own, nigga.
God was like, you guilty, son.
You on your own, son. And the courts were like, do you really want to run this through court?
This one's going to be
Do
expensive.
you really want to do this? Because I hear your streams are drying up, rude boy. I hear the money is a little bit soft.
The bag is light.
The bag is lights. So yeah, he put up a little tweet or Instagram story saying that he's done for now.
For
and
now.
that no one cares if he is innocent or guilty in his city. So he's feeling pretty low about it, but he's out of here.
Fuck him. I don't give a shit.
So RIP to his career as well. What else has been going on in the world, man?
Been a lot of shit going on.
Oh yeah, I went to see Dave Chappelle this week, didn't I?
Yeah, down. Was it not just the same one as the Netflix?
It was
show?
not. It was not.
It's a whole new show.
I've been asked that a lot. It was not the closer. It was something brand new. And the best thing about it is that the controversy around the closer added fire to his belly. It was really sick. Talib Kweli came out at the end and he performed Get By, which was a pleasant surprise. A comedian who I didn't know about, but Tommy clearly knew about, and apparently I should have known about because he's amazing. A guy called Jeff Ross opened up.
The
UK
Roastmaster General.
Yeah. Big on the roasting. And
I do love a roast.
roasting in a comedic sense, by the way.
Very good.
And then there was also Kojo the comedian, who is a UK legend. He opened up before.
Oh, very good.
Jeff Ross. And it was really, really sick. But the amazing thing about it is, as I said, he came out and he had all the fire in his belly as a result of the Netflix controversy. My funniest bit was when he said, so, they said they've been doing a workout. No, a walkout. So,
What?
you know when they said, so basically, there was...
Maybe stick to podcasting.
Mate, shut up.
Leave stand up to the
Shut up. So they said they're doing a walkout at Netflix because you know there was a
Can you
talk
do
about.
the accent, please?
Can you just let me land, bro?
No. You haven't even taken off yet, let alone landing, bro.
I mean, I'm trying.
I'm trying, buddy.
So basically, there's all this talk.
No, don't let him bottle it. Do the accent. Do the joke. Do the accent.
Yalaka.
Oh So,
Very good.
Good.
some trans workers doing a walkout. They said they're packing their shit and going. And it's all because of me. Well, I've been in that Netflix office last week. They were working from home. Where they walking out from? Their living room? That was a joke, by the way. You meant to laugh.
Yeah, we were trying. I was laughing so you keep going. It wasn't funny, but anyway, maybe it's in the delivery.
Yeah, maybe. He made a point of saying that there was no such.
Still cracking me up.
Yeah,
One day or many days. That's a great bar.
He made a point of saying there was no such walkout of the Netflix offices because, in fact, most of the people who work at Netflix are still currently working from home.
Very good.
So that was all a lie, and he was excellent, right? Like you're gonna get a very biased.
Is he better live
He's very good live.
He's the same.
in the flesh?
I mean, he's the same. What's the difference?
Because it's like you go see some musicians and they're better live in concert than they are in the studio or whatever.
But it's different for comedy, right? Because it's a different kind of flexing of your vocals. So
It's timing and
what
shit
you see on screen is very much what you see in real life,
Interesting.
right?
So, not really. You get better stuff in real life.
Yeah,
because
I would have thought so.
There's a bunch of shit that doesn't get aired. So when they're like, "Oh, I'm recording one of my specials tonight," right? And they know. So like when Dave Chappelle's recording whatever the closer, that would have been recorded 2 or 3 times over a weekend, right? So he'd have done the same set twice or 3 times,
cut it.
and then they would just take the best parts basically.
Well, yeah,
so
I
you
mean-
get a much better experience there and then because all the riffing, the crowd work that happens, that never really makes the edit, right? But you get all of that when you're. So I've seen him 3 times in Dubai, and it's much better in real life because, like I said, all the riffing and that never really makes it onto TV. And I guess they'll also have I was in Dubai, so he also had some like cultural material that is funny because we're in Dubai. But if you're watching it from anywhere else in the world, it doesn't mean shit to you. So that would also not make any kind of recorded version.
Yeah,
so
well, maybe,
it is better live.
Maybe Rich, just being structurally not funny, couldn't appreciate the art of comedy live in the flesh.
I'm funnier than you.
Oh yeah, all right. That's maybe your best joke of the night.
No, I'm funnier than you. You've never said a joke.
I like the way you're doing it with a deadpan expression.
What did one snowman say to the other?
What?
Can you smell carrots?
That's what you got when you're sending for me.
That's what I
this
need.
Friday evening.
That's what I need.
Over to you, sir.
I'm natural.
Bring your best joke.
So they're doing a trans walkout. You're not fucking funny. The fuck?
Johnny is pretty funny. You've clearly seen all of his views in the last 30 pods. Hilarious.
That's right.
I don't know if he's that funny. I think you recycle a lot of your shit from Twitter, to be honest, mate.
So you do follow me?
No one likes to see
No,
sausage
it's
being
just
made.
your takes are just your takes are no. You're not coming up with those takes. You're nowhere near that intelligent, mate.
No. The takes are his. They're just one-dimensional.
I'll get attacked by both sides. Shit.
No. I'm just like adding a little pepper.
Okay.
Salt and pepper.
Yes.
Some seasoning.
Some flavor.
So the controversy is obviously built. I think last time when we were talking about it, we were afraid to get cancelled. Should we get cancelled today?
This week we're not so afraid.
Should we get cancelled today?
Fuck it.
Johnny, why is it that white people within every single minority structure...
Look at him get comfortable. Look at him get comfortable when he's
Johnny, why is it that even in minority groups, there is always a fucking hierarchy of pain, which is always cultivated, catalyzed by people of your ilk? Huh?
I'm not entirely sure I understand the point that you're making.
I'm trying to say that nobody gives a fuck about black people, Johnny. Even the people in the communities, these minority communities, they claim to be all-inclusive and for everybody.
Yeah, listen, as we established...
Tell me why that is.
As we established in the last episode, there's nothing harder than being a straight white male in this country.
These aren't even... And that is not even Dave Chappelle's battle. This isn't about straight white males at all.
Well, it never
This
is.
is about
That's the problem.
LGBTQ. This is about LGBTQ.
Okay, right.
I don't know if you guys saw. You might know. Was it an NFL or an NBA coach who got caught in that in the email
John
scandal?
Gruden.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, NFL.
Email scandal, and there was like a whole bunch of like emails that were like dissing black
some
people.
sus shit.
Were dissing black people, and they were like, yeah, that's cool. But then he did some emails that were like dissing like LGBTQ, and they were like,
You got to go.
You're out of here, buddy.
Yeah, so we did this, didn't we? We did the black dollar and the gay dollar. Which dollar's better organized? That's what's up, basically.
You have the floor, Johnny.
Dollars.
You have the floor, Johnny. What's going on, man? Why is there? Why is this?
Why is it all right to attack black people? Is that what you're asking me?
Let's start with that.
And we're only limited to an hour and a half, so I won't be able to go through my full reason list.
Is that another one of your jokes?
Tommy laughed, but anyway.
Very good. No, I enjoyed it.
I don't know. It's a bit of a mad question. Why is it all right to attack black people? Not well. This is kind of what Dave Chappelle was talking about, right? In the set about punching, asking trans people not to punch down on his people.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. Why is the gay dollar better organized than the black dollar? It's easy to attack people that don't have the means of response, and it just so happens that the structural inequities and the access to opportunity mean that when black people are attacked in mass media, black people don't often find an equitable right to reply. That's what's up.
What's your view on this, Tommy? We didn't get into this Dave Chappelle thing enough last week, and I really want to understand why people are so upset.
I think I had similar questions around it, and maybe 4 or 5 pods ago, I think you answered it, and I didn't really understand it until I kind of looked it up after you talked about intersectionality. Right. So I think that can go to some degree of explaining what you're talking about in terms of those red lines with the emails and right? And I guess that's also similar to what Chappelle was talking about, basically, in his whole kind of stand-up thing about trans and the ones who are doing the dying, and predominantly black trans people or whatever, right? So it comes back down. I think it can be largely explained, not necessarily fully, but maybe largely explained by this concept of intersectionality. You can be more than just gay.
Why is it not okay to laugh at or with particular minority groups?
No, it's fine.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's fine for me.
Me
That's
too.
how I live my life.
Me too. But why is it not okay?
To what? To laugh at minority groups?
I think it stops being okay, right, when you have a following over a certain number. And it gets back to what Johnny was talking about when we were talking about the political stuff, when you were talking about fame stars, or whatever. I don't know how you... Microstars or whatever, right? That's what it is, right? If you can build a name for yourself, if you can get an extra 300, 500,000 Twitter followers by jumping on one of these crusades and trying to like rub a bit of Dave Chappelle's shine on you, then you're going to do that, right? Some people are going to do that, and that's why it's more uncomfortable when you are someone of a particular fame to have these kind of jokes, right? Whereas you and I can do this all day long.
Who don't you feel that you can shit on that you would like to?
Jews.
Yeah, to be fair, we got good lawyers. But who else?
No, honestly.
You're like, okay, who else?
Send the space Jews.
But they are a protected space, protected class.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to do a Jewish-based episode one day. And we're going to demystify Judaism.
Wow. I mean, there's a whole section of Judaism that's basically built on mysticism, so it might take a while.
We'll condense it.
Shout out the Kabbalah Cabal.
Larry David.
Why'd you ask me that though?
Well, because you seem to have a view that it's all right to shit on some people and some not.
Yeah.
So who do you feel like it's not okay to shit on?
Everyone but blacks.
Okay. Do you feel like people who have attacked the LGBT community have gotten away with it?
Actually, this is actually it's actually quite an apt thing, because I was reading recently that Aries Spears, who had that kind of red pill knowledge stand-up around that divorce experience, was talking about being blackballed across Hollywood and not being able to get any work based off that stand-up set, which was basically kind of shitting on the American divorce experience for men and de facto shitting on women, basically. And as a result, he can't get booked anywhere. I mean, he can do stand-up gigs, but he's not doing movies and all the other shit that he was doing before. So it goes back to kind of Rich's thing about, well, clearly we know you can't really shit on the alphabet people, and you clearly can't really shit on women. So who's left to shit on is basically, I guess, this question.
Dave Chappelle has the massive advantage of having get the fuck out of my face money, right? But I find it like a massively missed opportunity when you have one minority group, i.e. the LGBTQ community, essentially shitting on somebody like him, who, even though he is stupid rich, is a black man, ultimately. And I can't say this statistically with any real level of accuracy, but typically the people who are aiming for him to be cancelled typically aren't the black members of the LGBTQ. I think the person who organised the walkout from Netflix may have been.
I don't know about that though. I've seen a lot of videos and stuff just to see what the other side is saying, and it's a lot of like black trans people, a lot of black.
But that then opens the question as to whether or not they actually watched the closer, because I think he was very clear that he wasn't talking about them, and that his problem wasn't anybody black within that minority. His problem's always been with the whites, right?
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to get a bit of shine. There's this big Twitter.
You mean the people who are hyping up?
You're just trying to get a bit of shine. Watched it, didn't watch it. Doesn't matter. You have a little tribe of your own with your little 500 followers or whatever, 1,000 followers, and you're trying to get a bit of shine by, a reasoned opinion is never going to get the shine, right? So it's just going to be more and more outrageous on either side. So either you're going to go full out, die hard, support Dave, or you're going to go full out, cancel Dave. And obviously everything in the middle, which is where the majority are, is not obviously going to get any coverage because it's not interesting. It's just the extremes, right?
I mean, these aren't small echoes though, right? Like I think it was a huge, as much as we joked about it, I think it was quite a substantial Netflix walkout, right?
Not really.
And the uproar was pretty big on the internet. So they're not small.
They're pretty small. Because then you also have like other communities like whatever it is, 10 million people who listen to every single Joe Rogan podcast being like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he goes in.
Yeah, and he's on a...
But you know why he gets away with it?
He's got big beef right now with mainstream
Jewish.
media. Because he's got fans.
No.
He's got people's...
Dave Chappelle has fans.
Yeah, and that's why Dave Chappelle's getting away with it.
We don't know that yet.
Yeah,
he's pretty easy.
Because Joe Rogan's they've been trying to cancel Joe Rogan for 2 years now. Ever since people clocked that he's actually popular. When they're like, hold on, how many people are listening
Cosby
to this
had
shit?
fans.
And since then, CNN have been on his ass, basically. And they can't cancel him.
Cosby had fans, and he's not guilty.
Yeah.
He's still cancelled.
He's not guilty.
He got released, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything out of turn. I didn't say he didn't do that shit. I'm just saying what the court said.
Did it get overturned?
Yeah. That's what we spoke about. He got overturned, right?
Yeah.
He was in jail for long.
But that's because of one. He only got prosecuted for one woman of the alleged ex.
He got it on a technicality.
But regardless, like I think we can make too much of it. Like, yeah, there are going to be some people, and yeah, you have the bait media sources who have 3 listeners, like who are like talking about this. But apart from that, like anyone who's of an age that matters to any real advertising demographic doesn't give a fuck. Basically, there's just the fringes. We can amplify a little bit of noise on Twitter, and then the coverage that gets from some bullshit organizations. But apart from that, I don't think it's getting much heat as they're trying to.
My issue is that every single time it's a particular type of person, we are 9 times more likely to try and get him the fuck out of here than when other people do. And it's typically people like me. That's annoying.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing is that this maybe goes back to the divisive nature of politics that we spoke about. And because discourse is so antagonistic these days, there's actually not a lot of value in trying to hear the other side's point. And so you just entrench your own position and try and fuck the other side. And doing that is, inverted commas, cancelling them. But I was going to say, basically, there's no such thing as cancel culture. It's bullshit, right? It's just especially in the entertainment space, it's just an expression of the free market. If you don't want to listen to a guy anymore because he pisses you off, don't fucking listen to him. We just happen to live in a world where people's opinions can be broadcast more frequently. Going back to the topic of being a microstar, everyone's got a platform that the average politician would have had 30, 40 years ago, right? Any Jeff on Twitter can reach more people than an MP could have done 20 years ago. And so this whole cancel culture thing is bullshit. It's just whatever the free market is, or whatever group think is, or like if people don't want to listen to a dude because they don't like their content anymore, then they'll stop doing that. That's about all that cancel culture is. It's basically free market for bitches. And when people bitch in enough numbers, some people lose money. But fundamentally, if Dave Chappelle makes enough money for Netflix, they're going to put his next special.
And look, Dave doubled down, right? They said that he is going all of nowhere. So you guys better pick up your tissues or just hit stop.
Hit the fucking road, basically.
People trying to sell. I think there was an old Conor McGregor bar where he was trying to gun out one of the other UFC fighters, where he was like, "It's just some broke bitches trying to sell some shit." Like, and this is what it is. Like, this happens, and then you have Piers Morgan, who's now the editor-at-large of Daily Mail Online, being like, "Oh, I'm so happy that that Netflix are one of the few tech companies who are taking a stand against this cancel culture."
Oh wow, he was for it.
Of course he's for it, because he's like one of these freedom of speech advocates in this issue.
I just never know which Piers Morgan's going to wake up.
Then you have the guys on the other side, and all in the name of the fiduciary duty to shareholders, basically. It's just some broke bitches trying to sell some shit. I'm trying to sell some like viewer time on my website. I'm trying to sell more advertising, whatever it is. That's what it is. Basically.
Netflix aren't about to get rid of Dave Chappelle when he's about to serve them the new Chappelle show, which I'm sure has come in 2023 or whatever.
Plus, if he does get cancelled, he can just end up on Trump's new social media network and his new TV station.
Man, like the segue Don.
Your boy is
2
back.
for 2 today, yeah?
Your boy is
Look
back.
at you, yeah?
I'm on a flowing.
The truth. Who wants to talk about it? Because I don't.
Why are you trying to cancel Donald?
I mean, Twitter did that.
That's president.
Man like Dorsey did that.
That's the president of the United States. Boy, you must
hit the road,
call him
Jack.
Mr. Trump.
It was a bit strange that they did that and they got away with that, but
That's maybe the closest thing to an actual cancellation.
no, that was a
They
cancellation.
actually tinned man.
He's not been able to create a Twitter page.
But the thing is, if he was
even in a different IP address,
the thing is, like, I really miss.
He ain't even able to rock up to his neighbors and be like, "Yo, can we try this?"
At the time, he was
different avatar.
He was the single best Twitter account, right? And Twitter is a worse place for him not being on it. But if he was on Twitter, then we would still like have such frequent tweet output that we wouldn't get like saved up statements like we got about Colin Powell.
But you play beta versions of Football Manager, and
that makes me
read
an alpha
Donald
male.
Trump tweets.
Yeah, well now I read the press statements because I can't get the tweets anymore. But anyway, Donald Trump is starting his own social media network, which is going to be called Truth Social, and it's going to be driven by him, and basically a place that is going to make Telegram. No, what was the weird one that they all joined? Was it Telegram or something else?
Parler.
It's going to make Parler look like a socialist drinking lobby, and it's going to be for all the right-wing super nuts to basically say shit about black people that would get you cancelled in any other public place. And that's probably going to make him a lot of money, and he's going to make a TV channel and stream lots of.
But he tried a
racist
couple.
TV
He tried
shows.
a couple of other things. Isn't he already tried to launch a couple social media things that have failed already?
I don't think he's tried to launch.
He's threatened to launch.
Yeah, I don't think he's tried to actually launch. But now they've floated a company.
To get back onto Twitter, basically.
Yeah, they're going to float a company. It's actually got some capital behind it.
Question. Does that serve a purpose if it's just QAnon motherfuckers like him in a room wanking each other off?
Yeah, it's fucking bans. It's fucking
No.
bans. It's going to be
But
like
no,
4chan
deep
for
my
kids
question.
that grew up.
Deep my question.
Okay.
Does that serve a wider purpose if the only people who are subscribing to those channels are people who all believe and think the same way? The reason that they were, the reason why they had, the reason why Twitter worked is because, the reason why Twitter worked is because it offended so many fucking people.
Yes.
If you got the same people in the room, how does that work?
So the utility
Jerk-off circle.
It's
Exactly.
It. It's like putting all.
But a jerk-off circle, who wants to watch that if you're a Democrat? You're not logging in for that.
So that's fine.
Democrats.
It's like putting all the anti-vaxxers on the Isle of Wight. You just put the fucking QAnoners in their own little social media bubble and let them fucking argue with each other. That's fine.
But then what happens?
I don't know. They all circle jerk each other.
I guess the point I'm trying to make, maybe I should have
have
framed it differently. He's doing this ahead of the 2024 campaign.
Yeah, so they're all going to convince each other that elections are rigged and it's not. There's no point in voting.
What do you think it's for?
Turn up.
Like, he might not necessarily run. Like, this might be.
Grow up.
No.
He's definitely running.
It looks like. I think he's likely to run.
Yeah.
Right? But there is a small chance that he doesn't run and just goes and tries to build some kind of media empire. Right? Like, first step, social media. Try to challenge these man, Twitter and rah. On a small level, you don't need 1 billion users. He just needs, 30 million followers. He needs 22 million of his followers to jump online, and that new social media platform is an instant success.
But don't we have that already? Like,
Then,
if you're talking about media empire and it goes from a Twitter page or a social media page rather to the screens, we've already got the Tucker Carlsons and all this other shit. Then what?
But this is the game. The game, he's trying to make money. This is not, the game isn't like, we saw him try to profit from 4 years as president. So the game is, if he is able to successfully eat into Fox News's market share, 10, 15%, and he's now sat there with his new news network, which is on even footing with Fox, MSNBC, CNN, rah. That's a big win, bro.
It's a big ask as well, man. Look what happened to GB News, bro.
Yeah, but GB News did not launch with a flagship. Like, Trump has 20 maybe 25 million people who will jive with him regardless.
Yeah,
Then
that's true.
he'll have another 10 or 15 million people who voted for him. They're not diehard man or whatever, but they also voted. He got 40 million votes, bro. So like, you just need a small fraction of them. 5 million of them in the first quarter jump on
like
on this Parler ripoff, Truth Social. That makes that business probably one of the most successful businesses Trump has ever run.
Do you think he has, and I'm assuming it's going to be a fee-paying social media platform?
I don't know about
I think the social media platform will be free, but the streaming services and the content production is going to be.
Because my next question
subscription-based.
was, of all of his fans, all of these people that you speak of, how many are actually willing to pay for his shit?
Bear man.
A massive,
Bear
man.
I don't know, man. I think you
They'll
might
pay
have bigging
for
him
the
up
video
too
content,
much.
for sure.
All right, I'm putting my fork in the ground right now. I think it's going to be a resounding failure. That's my fucking take.
Probably because his brain is.
Don't say probably. You've been full chesting him about how big this was going to be, like
The
literally
social
30
media
seconds
thing-
ago.
The social
Yeah, he's
media
talking
thing
about
is
social
going.
media.
I'm talking about the whole fucking thing.
No,
The Truth Network is going to die.
They'll pay people to. The Truth Network is different to the Trump Media Telecoms Group. That is going to attract a lot of money.
I think they're interlinked, and I think they're both
It's
going to
already
fail.
attracted a lot of money.
Yeah, attracts a lot of investment. They're going to make the money back through subscriptions. Through subscriptions, people will be just signing up to all these fucking weird rando documentary series and pods.
You hear that? Full chest.
What do you think
It's
the whole
going to
thing's gonna
fail. It's going to fail.
Yeah, I'm not so convinced.
It's a brave man who's going to bet against Oga Trump.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daddy
I'm
Trump.
that guy. What else has been going on before we move on to my favorite part of the pod?
I don't know. There's a few things been going on. The Queen nearly died. They tried to cover it up. She can't go to Northern Ireland.
It's looking ominous, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, she has got to go at some point.
95?
All right, you're
Some of
channeling your inner Charles there, yeah?
And we get
She's got to go at some point.
We get a 4-day bank holiday when it happens. So there's the Alec Baldwin shot a chick. That's pretty fucked.
That's nice.
Yeah. Someone I knew her,
Oh snap!
Really?
which is crazy.
For real?
Yeah.
That's bleak. R.I.P. to Natalia or something. What was her
The
name?
her name was-
cinematographer.
I
Yeah.
think her name, I mean, we should probably get her name before we
Well,
given that
just
we're paying
bleep it.
respect.
Like when Johnny
just went Natalia
Give-
or something.
Some shit. Innit?
Given that we're paying respects to this lady, we should probably
There's
say her name.
The current second place in the French presidential campaign is a right-wing journalist who hasn't even declared that they're going to run for president yet, which is quite jokes. He's like Trump's. It's like kind of if Tucker Carlson ran for president, but you can't call him racist.
Oh, is this the French guy?
Yeah. You can't call him racist because he's a Jew,
Yeah.
and he's putting away his 28-year-old assistant.
Yeah, he used to be on like some sort of entertainment show.
He was on the
pretty
French
much.
Fox News.
Yeah.
And so that's quite jokes. And then
Usual rhetoric, French for the French.
as if the French being racist is proper shock. And then Citigroup have said that they're going to do an audit into how their business impacts non-white communities.
Black History Month, baby.
Black History
Nah.
Baby.
We have to tell that story properly. The shareholders pushed them into doing it.
Do we have to?
It's not them doing some kind
Oh
of.
no, they
like-
didn't volunteer for shit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
yeah, no.
forced into.
Fiduciary duty. It just so happens that these men are trying not
Black
to be
History
sued.
Month, and the B is for performative.
Very good. Very good.
What else is going on? No, but for real, the Queen, man, that's some deep shit. Yo.
Yeah.
She's about to
Did
go.
you
and
see
I'm not
Nicholas
even-
Witcher on BBC News was fucking fuming?
Why?
Because they were like, so
Who?
Nicholas Witcher, the BBC Royal correspondent, get to know.
He's the guy that Prince Charles told to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, basically. So that like they basically released that she was tired and that she should take a rest rather than going to Northern Ireland. It turns out that she spent the night in hospital, and he's meant to be like the BBC's royal reporter, which means you'd think that like they'd be speaking to the state broadcaster, and they sold him a pack of lies. So he came out on BBC News the next morning and was like, "It seems we won't be given full information. Millions of people around the world are very concerned about the Queen's state. We've not been told.
Yeah.
It doesn't help reporting in these anxious times."
Well, get well soon, Lizzie. Right? Hope you're
Don't
doing
give
all
us the
right.
4-day weekend.
No. Let's do things the right way, Johnny. Get well soon.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Get well soon,
Yeah,
then
that's
leads
fine.
us to whatever else comes after.
To be fair, we
pay
get a
our
4-day
respects.
weekend if she survives.
Yeah, we got bank holidays for days next year anyway.
Yeah.
It's all good. So
Yeah, good luck.
Deaf or not, it's all good. You're saying good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, Charlie. So
Ideally, we get 2 sets of 4-day weekends. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, that would be nice.
You'd
And
expect
the,
after
the name.
100 years, we might go 5. We could probably push it.
Does she write a letter to herself if she makes it? Like who?
I think it's already done. Yeah,
who congratulates the Queen for getting to 100?
she does. Hello, you.
Hello, me.
You did
The
it.
definition of patting
We
yourself
made
on
it.
the
We
back.
You made it.
We
here.
did it, Joe.
Ooh, started from the bottom.
Did she start from the bottom?
The name of the woman who got shot, by the way, was Helena Hutchins.
I think she was the one that survived.
Yeah.
There's basically one got killed and one got... The cinematographer died.
No. Helena Hutchins is the lady who died.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to fact.
I mean, there's another lady who got... another guy, I think.
Director survived, but Helena Hutchins
she was the
passed.
cinematographer.
Not Natalia.
Alec Baldwin is obviously cooperating with all of the police and made a statement to that effect, saying he's mortified and is heartbroken for the family. And to be honest, man, like that type of shit should not be happening on the set of a movie in 2021. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's mad.
Firing blanks at people, for fuck's sake. How does that happen?
I fired a blank
anyway,
on stage once.
At someone.
Yeah, so you get told to fire it away from the head. In case
Of course,
like this
I mean, you're not
it's
supposed
pretty
to
nuts how he was just allowed to.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a pretty controlled situation when you're shooting a film. Like,
It's pretty jokes firing a blank though.
it's horrible. But anyway,
He's got a suspect history as well.
rest in peace, Helena.
He had to do a roast. To like resurrect his image or whatever. There's something about some voicemail he left on his daughter's phone or some shit when he went nuts at her for something, and then that got leaked, and I think he was battling various kind of alcohol.
Did he go a bit TI? Stuff. Start checking his daughter's virginity.
Yeah, you need to not bring that up as much.
All types of bitch, basically.
Oh snap!
Oh mate, you should look it up. It's actually pretty.
Are we cancelling Alec Baldwin?
Pretty foul.
Probably not. He's white, innit? Anyway, relationship advice.
Let's go again.
It's my turn this week. Mm-hmm. It's entitled "How to Get Out of the Friend Zone." But you might be surprised to find out it's from a lady.
Ooh, interesting.
The side of the
to almost argue the premise of a friend zone when you're a lady.
Crazy, right? Yeah. So
let's begin.
Without further ado, there is a guy in my friendship circle whom I have known for about 5 years now. We had never really been close friends, just acquaintances. Recently, I needed to move into a new flat. He was moving out of his flat to go traveling for work for a couple of months, so by coincidence, I ended up renting his flat from him. During this time, I got to know his personality and found him funny, intelligent, and interesting. He's got amazing books in his house, and I became a little bit infatuated, which never happens these days. However, he would mention his most recent breakup with an actress. Not a famous actress, but she has had some very famous penis. He would talk about her quite a lot. He would say how she would treat him hot and cold, and maybe that was the appeal. So she would be all over him or not speak to him for several months. He would also make comments about her not being his usual type body-wise, saying she's a bit bigger than his type, which is worrying given I am sure I'm bigger than her and I'm normal build. I know who submitted this. Body for days.
Okay, very good.
He stopped talking about her lately, but here is the dilemma. How do I get him to view me in a more romantic way?
Ooh.
P.S. He's still out of the country, so we communicate via text. The guy has mentioned to me he's been on a couple of dates, including this ex-girlfriend. He was frustrated because the actress would put him down and she was quite verbally abusive. But I wonder if this hot and cold is what kept him coming back. We haven't spent too much time one-on-one, so no near moments or close shaves. And I do wonder if he only views me as a friend. Should I continue asking about his date life as I would with friends, or how do I move the chat to more romantic waters?
I think
All the books in his house make me feel like this is a guy I could really see myself within the long term. Yeah, I need to see this book collection.
yeah.
Harry Potter's and that.
I think there's quite a quick fix to this one.
Go on.
All of the chat so far is over WhatsApp. Send saucy pics.
Okay.
But slowly build up the sauce, right? So start off being like, this is my outfit tonight for my date. Get him thinking he's not the only one who's missing out. He's got something to miss out
Also
on.
known as fear of loss.
That's fucking
So
right.
show him like a little bit of shoulder.
Well, you start off with like maybe
Bit of
like a low
shoulder.
cut top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he forgets it's winter. Depends where he's traveling.
Yeah.
Show him a nice dress that you got going for about yourself. Ask him to pick the dress for you,
Yeah.
so that he sees you in a few different ones.
Okay.
Basically what you need to make him realize, honey, is that there's body he's missing out on, and that you got stuff to work with.
Okay.
Your mama gave you a set.
But what if she is actually in the friend zone and all of this sending pictures of her outfits and stuff is just like a friend doing it?
Men are simple creatures.
Okay.
I think we see titties, we like titties. I'm willing to debate any man in the world on that.
Okay.
I'm not saying get your tits out. I'm just asking you how much you want to fuck him.
She's said very clearly, Johnny, this is not about sex. This is not a meeting of the loins. It is a meeting of the minds.
Yeah, sure. We all love each other's dick, but
Sorry, what?
just pause.
I do not like your dick.
I mean, that kind of wasn't the point I was getting at.
Okay.
But if you want him to see you sexually, which is what she's trying to get achieved here,
You keep going for sexual.
so they already have an emotional attraction to each other
Over books.
in a friend's context.
Let me save you. And
Over books.
interject here.
Whoa, hold on. I'm not
I
finished.
am going to
She
He
needs
is
to
not
be,
finished.
She
Let
needs
him
to,
land.
She needs to be sexier to him because he is not seeing her in that way at that present.
What if the advice... Can you channel your advice away from what she needs to do to attract him sexually and what she needs to do to get him up here, Johnny, up
Men,
here?
there is not much inside men's heads.
Can you stop
and
doing
this
that?
is the point that
I'm
I'm
deep.
getting at.
I'm deep.
I've got
No,
levels.
you're not. What?
I've got levels.
But you men are like, you men are maybe like onions.
What do you think, Tommy?
There you go, like onion.
Tommy, what does our listener need to
Easily
do?
peeled.
I think the whole submission was a little naive, and I know that it came from a woman. I
Oh,
can
wow.
tell.
Okay.
Because you
Because
can
Rich
tell her
said-
straight away.
Tommy,
You can tell
they
her straight
cancel
away,
us black people.
Your friend.
Don't forget that.
Huh?
They cancel us black people. so
Yeah,
just
it's okay.
be careful with
I'll be
these
careful,
throwaway.
actually. Yeah. Please edit that one.
Yeah.
Timestamp edit. But like, but really, realistically, what I'm trying to get at is that he probably already sees you in that way. There is no differentiation. Maybe the girls have that kind of. Girls do have that differentiation, arguably, between friends and rah rah rah. But my guy, it's all variations of pipeline management, basically. So realistically, there aren't unless, and it doesn't sound like the two of you guys are good friends, right? It sounds like you're in the same kind of platonic group. Like you might have like a wider group that you guys are a part of, right? Bless, fine. So you guys aren't particularly good friends. In that scenario, guys don't friend zone people. I don't know. Let me just speak for myself. But unless you're really a good friend with someone, there is no friend zone, right? Once you have a good friendship is when you're starting to talk about friend zones and shit like that, right? And it doesn't sound like they have a particularly good friendship. So I'd start off by removing that impediment from your own mind of thinking that he's friend zoned me. That's definitely not the case. He's definitely not friend zoned you from the information that we have presently available. Then the conversation goes to, this is 2021. Like, there's no reason that she can't just hit him up direct, right? Why can't she just move to him directly?
She'd be like, I'd like to manage your
so
pipeline.
what Johnny was kind of suggesting, all the stuff that Johnny was suggesting, is a kind of reactive approach where you're trying to bait him into chirpsing you,
That's
basically,
correct.
right?
That's
Whereas, why don't you just chirps him? Basically, right?
Does she have game?
Jump his bones.
Does she have game?
And she can chirps him, and she's living in his
She
house.
has- yeah,
so
no,
she's living in
this
his
one-
house.
this
She has a
one
lot of
is-
material available, like the books, she'll say, that will allow her to throw game. Basically.
Very good
There's
looking,
enough
this one.
information.
Very good looking, this one. Very charming, very funny, very smart.
The problem is that she's good looking. So I don't know her. I don't know who you're talking about. But if you're saying that she's good looking,
You might.
that's the problem. If she's good looking,
You might.
She's not used to doing the legwork, right? And that's why she's baffed as to what to do now.
Wow.
She's like, I'm not really sure
Tommy's
what to do.
attacking the pretty privilege now.
No, but in a good way, in a good way. And this is why we're trying to give that information. And that information is, firstly, no friend zone exists. And secondly, this 2021 baby, move to him. Move to him aggressively.
Move
Yes.
to
Move
him.
to him
I can-
aggressively.
I can.
The Scandinavian
subscribe to that one.
approach.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
tell him what's up.
What you saying, yeah? You're going on these dead dates. I'm here. What you saying?
Yeah. I like it.
Say Halloween season's coming up, and here I am dressed as the love of your life.
That was a joke.
What do you think she should do, Rich?
I think this listener should send him a text saying, look, stop talking to me about your ex. I'm your future. I like your books. let's read together.
Will you read me a bedtime story?
I will turn those pages for you, baby. And also, the sooner we start fucking, the sooner I can live in your apartment rent free.
That's the motive.
Can solve a lack of dick and cost of living crisis.
That's all I got.
So you're basically saying something similar to me. Like, move to
There
him.
is
Move
only
to him.
one way.
We've all said just move
There's
to
only
him.
you
one
didn't
way
say
to
that.
solve this.
I said send him saucy pics.
You basically, you
just
were
got-
saying,
you went
like,
straight to the fucking
You were
you.
like bait him into chirpsing you. We're telling her to chirpsing. Basically.
yeah, I
it's
guess.
different.
Well,
It's a different
maybe
thing.
it's semantics.
You were like, oh, just just show him pictures and be like, oh, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, bait him.
Fuck that.
Bait him.
Just hit him up direct. Just be like, listen, you're obviously going on some dead dates. Because like you're still thinking about this ex who's buoying you off. You're thinking about forget that, right? Look,
I'm here.
I'm right
Yeah.
here.
I'm here.
Then send the pic.
Let me sit on your face.
Ooh.
That might be a bit too aggressive.
Okay.
Depending on the guy, though.
Is
He
that
might
where I'm
like
going
that.
wrong?
He might like that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Either way, that's my advice. Don't worry too much about this friend zone thing because you guys aren't that deep friends.
Facts.
And go for it.
You're worried about being friend zoned by a guy probably doesn't even like you. Probably doesn't even like you as a friend.
Guys have problems with like female friends, don't they? It's a bit of a weird complex. Not me personally, but a lot of men, generally speaking, don't see the value.
In what way do you mean?
A lot of men don't see the value in having female friends unless they're banging.
No, I know.
To be
about
fair.
It's a bit sus.
So yeah, I would just say, just make sure you don't hit him with a line like, "So what are we?" None of that. None of that
don't do
shit.
that.
Just hit him up and just be like, "Brother, I like your face. I like your books. How about it? I really want to know what this book collection is."
I like your face.
If she could
I
get
like
back
your
in
face.
touch, right?
Can I sit on
it?
it?
Would be good to hear like the 3 to 5 books that really caught her attention. That would be interesting. Just to, because from that, I'm sure we could then surmise a lot.
Yes.
About both of them.
I don't know. I think there's value in the baiting one. I think she should start telling him about her dates, so that he starts to see her in that kind of context. Because maybe he doesn't even think of her in the dating
So like she
style.
could send him pictures of the guys she's going out on
That's quite
dates
aggressive.
with.
That's quite
And be
aggressive.
like,
But she
what
could
do you
also be
think?
like,
Do you
I
think
feel-
he's good looking?
I've also been
Knowing that he's good looking. Just to see how
Just
my
send a
man
picture of
feels.
Michael B.
And then
Jordan.
if it's like objective, if he's just like hating, it's just like objective
Much
hating.
like, or so if he's still hung up about his ex, then maybe she should also start fucking famous people, because then he'll start associating.
No, what I would
the two
say
together.
is, though, do your research about that ex, because she's assuming like, oh, I think that I might be bigger than her, and he's saying this. Just look her up.
No, I think she did look her up, which is why she
Very
said
good.
if he's saying that she is a bit on the big side, then I am definitely too big. Is our listener's point, which would be incorrect because our listener is certainly not.
So this guy likes a beanpole, basically.
Yeah, it would appear.
I don't fuck him. He's not even worth it.
No, I agree. You got to question his taste, listener.
100%.
She's questioned his taste. His taste is great. He's got great books.
And a nice flat, apparently. This guy's winning.
So the general
Traveling
consensus.
for work.
Yeah, innit?
This guy's actually, he should be one of the
guy's a
man
G.
them, really.
Listen
Bring
up.
him in.
Yeah, should we invite him on a pod?
Yeah, listener. The general consensus: be in charge of your own destiny.
Grow
Yes.
up. Grow up and move to him.
Move to him, and let us know how it works out.
Yeah,
If you need like some bars, we're here to help.
Don't ask
yeah,
Tommy.
we got bars for you.
If
She's a good
Actually,
speaker. This one.
we
She's
also
got
want to
bars.
hear about the book collection, so we'd love it if you can get back in touch.
Yeah,
I'd love to know who
100%.
this is. Really.
I'm going to be doing my top 10 books of the year soon, so we
Are
can
you?
compare
We-
notes.
Nice.
So what we saying? Do we
That's a good thing to do.
do we have a quiz?
So there's a mea culpa to be had here.
Oh.
Oh shit.
So obviously we know from the last 10 or so pods, 8 or 9 pods that we've been doing this quiz, and we're at the stage now where Abiadi is on the cusp of victory. So I could tell you that we don't have a quiz this week because we're trying to create a fantastical quiz
You could say that, but
for the next
He's about
pod.
to snatch
But
defeat from the jaws of victory.
realistically, the real answer is I didn't put a quiz together this week.
had one
Somehow
job.
it slipped my mind.
Waste, man.
One
Literally,
job.
we were 4
You
minutes
had
out.
one job.
We were literally about to start recording, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, the quiz!"
What is it? Fucking digital chickens, innit?
Yeah, it's true. Chicken Derby guys, get on that.
Anyway, all right. Well, cool. I guess
Sorry.
that's
So,
that
yeah.
then. No, that's
So
all
next
good.
week, the next pod, we're gonna have a deep quiz, and if you win that, or if Abiadi wins that, he is crowned champion.
Don't know.
If Johnny wins, he ties it up, and we go to our finale.
The decider.
It's not gonna happen.
Decider.
The only last bit of thing I would say, if you man haven't listened to Young Thug's new album Punk, I would recommend you do so.
That is a dope album.
It's dope. Very
listened to it.
fucking sick. This is probably like a big statement given how long he's been around. It's my very first time listening to a Young Thug album from front to back. I hear songs, obviously, but I didn't really like him at the beginning. But then people kept on telling me, this guy is super musical, this guy is super dope. The antics are the antics, but his music is actually fucking sick. Today was the first time I listened to an album all the way through, and then I listened to his other album, Jeffrey, all the way through. I think I'm in love with Young Thug.
Oh, shit.
I think his music is fucking sensational.
Our listener just had a similar experience, right? That's literally, she read the book collection.
Yeah.
I think I'm in love.
Yeah, literally. But that's the new music recommendation for the week. Gentlemen, pleasure as always.
I just wanted to give one shout out to wrap out the episode. It's a shout out to a man who's an uncle to me.
Yeah.
A man like Uncle Greg.
Don't know.
Who very, very sadly had a brain aneurysm a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
To express how important Uncle Greg is to me. If anyone has ever talked about me being a trader in the city, if I've ever told you ridiculous stories of the 80s and 90s and the heyday in the city, if you've ever heard my stupid expressions about shit that's said on the trading floor, the vast majority of it comes from Greg Hickling. Fundamentally a good man who's helped many people get into the city, certainly helped me in many times of crisis, given me the opportunity to be a trader. His family were told last week that there was a chance that he would be locked in his body. Since then, he's become responsive, reactive, his eyes are open, he can wiggle his toes and his feet. So we pray to God.
We keep praying.
We pray to God that he finds his strength internally and he comes out of it. Thoughts with Jim, a man like Jimmy Hickling, my boy, his son, and Sarah, his wife. And keep going, Uncle Greg. It's all going to be all right.
Amen. All the best, Greg. To everybody else, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Peace.
Holla at your boys.